See edit below. Late Wednesday night after everyone was asleep, I was looking for unpaid bills and decided to check my wife's purse. Her work phone was lit up, iPhone with PIN. There was a Twitter notification on the screen that said, "Hope we can make love tomorrow." It took about 2 minutes of looking at the notification before I checked the Twitter name and traced it back to her coworker, 35 male, that I have never actually met, but have never felt good about. I tried to remember her PIN code for her work phone for a while before I gave up and stared at his Twitter profile. Then his Facebook profile before ultimately deciding to wake her up and ask about it. I thought surely there would be an explanation. A funny inside joke that would resolve the situation and I could go to bed. I was wrong. Backstory. My wife and I began dating when we were 13. Just before starting the 8th grade. We were together on and off until our senior year of HS, and we got married when we were 20. We have never had sex or a serious relationship with anyone but each other. Soulmates. Best friends. Everything you could ever want. We have 2 children under the age of 5. We are successful, educated, and have always been the most stable couple either of us have ever seen or experienced in our lives. I woke her up and asked her for her PIN to her work phone. I said I needed to look at a notification she had received. She said okay. But instead of giving me the PIN, she got out of bed and came into the kitchen to do it herself. She was half asleep as she unlocked the phone and opened the application. There were not any other DMs on the screen. Just "Hope we can make love tomorrow" from username. She glanced at the computer in the kitchen and saw username's profile full screen. I said, "What does that mean?" She, after some silence and with very little emotion or expression, said, "It means what you think it means." I was instantly a complete and total mess. I couldn't speak. My heart was beating so fast I couldn't breathe. You know, the usual. I managed to say, "Start explaining." As the details of her infidelity came out, I began to understand why my life has been such a clusterfuck for the past 6 months. Things just made sense and fell into place. I realized I wasn't crazy for the first time in months. She said it was a sexual relationship and that she did have at least some feelings for him. It had been going for about 6 months and she said it was a weekly thing. These answers came from my questions. She seemed to have a hard time saying anything unless I asked directly. Later evidence would come to my attention, and it was usually during lunch they would go to his house, and according to my wife, sometimes his in his car. It happened sometimes every day. I am hurt beyond explanation and don't know what my next step is for sure. We always said this was the one thing we wouldn't do. And that we would never break up our family. We both came from divorced and broken homes. Our childhoods were very similar. We are also broke, house poor, and drowning in student loans. There is also the issue of our kids. I can't leave my kids. I love my wife and I have said I am willing to try to fix the issues that cause this. She and I both want our family to stay together. But I am not sure I can overcome the thought of her having daily relations with another person and lying about it for 6 months. More details. I knew something was going on this summer when the affair began. She completely changed her routine and attitude. She got up early. Took over an hour to get ready. She normally doesn't spend much time on herself in the morning. Just rushed through getting dressed and leaving the house a little late. She began working out. Like a lot. Daily. Then twice daily trips to the gym. She lost about 35 pounds and has never looked better. She bought new clothes. Constantly obsessed about her hair, nails, and worked out some more. All the while spending much less time at home. Much less time with me. And I usually was lucky if we met once a week for lunch. I asked her about it. Questioned her about hiding something. We got into many fights during this time. She blamed me for drinking too much. I was. She blamed me for not being happy. I wasn't. Eventually we had a huge fight and I stopped drinking for almost a month. I have since been well within the limits of moderation and I myself have lost about 30 pounds. I did everything she asked. I changed and stopped questioning her secrecy. I pretended to be happy, fake it till you make it, and blamed myself for everything. I trusted her and believed her when she said there wasn't anyone else. I felt crazy for feeling like there was a secret she was keeping. And worse, she let me feel crazy. In the end, it makes me feel a little better that I was right. So now what? I don't know what to do. I am angry and I want someone to know that she did this. I want to punish her. I want to punish him. I want to tell his wife. I want to tell their colleagues. I want to tell her friends. I want someone to understand me and my part. I want someone to judge her and blame her. I don't want to hurt my kids. Not even a little. I don't want to hurt her career. After all, we are broke. My hands seem tied. We are hopefully going to see a therapist next week to begin talking out this whole thing. Anyone have anything to contribute? TLDR. My wife of 10 years and high school sweetheart had an affair for 6 months and regularly fucked her coworker while they were at lunch at his house. What do I do? Edit. Wow. I can't say that I am surprised by what you guys have to say. But a lot of you share the same thought. I need to add a piece of information that is keeping me from making a quick decision about this. Right after we married, A had an addiction to prescription drugs that came to a head. My family found out. And of course my wife. I was absolutely at my lowest point of my entire life and attempted to take my own life because of it. I took a fistful of pills and chased it with a bottle of rum. The shame and guilt seemed like they would never go away, and at the NA meetings they told me I would be an addict forever, and I believed them. I sat down and I was waiting for the meds to put me to sleep and my phone rang. It was my wife. I cried openly as I answered the phone and told her what I had done and to come get me. I loved her so much that I couldn't die and leave her. No one else could have made me feel that way in that moment. That moment and many other moments during the following year of my recovery. She saved me. During my issues, many people told her to leave me, including my own parents. She stayed. Thank God she stayed. I can't help but think of what she did for me when I consider what I should do. Thank you for watching. Comments. Yeah. Now send that video of anal to the married couple and see how that goes over. The wife of the married guy deserves to know what her husband is doing behind her back. Absolutely epic. Classy and neat. I'm particularly amazed at how everything in your plan went so smoothly and fast. And that you even managed to get the cherry on top. So goddamn fake, I can't wrap my head around how people can think this is real. Sure, great writing, but people don't do the things you are talking about, and it reads more like erotic fiction than a real story that happened to actual people. Proud of and for you, champ. That is the best revenge ever. Epic man. I don't think I could be as composed as you. It's funny how when you give liars a choice where truthfulness and honesty have no consequences, they will always choose to protect their lies. I'm seriously proud of you. Tried everything. Picked yourself up through the sadness and ended it epic. Bruh, I'm a little disappointed you didn't just stay with her mom after peeping so much Lamau, but I'm glad you got to start a new better life elsewhere. Can this be a movie, please? 2 things. 1, wow, you old friend suck hard, couldn't even drop you a hint. 2, at some point down the line you should drop the CNT a message BTW after your mom and I found out we were both being cheated on by you and your small-dicked father. We f***ed for 3 days straight. And she was better than you. I have read so many things on this sub and other revenge subs, and this by far is my most favorite revenge I have ever read in my life. Congratulations of finding a way to get away without dealing with her BS, and on top of that peeping her mom. I can't think of a more perfect getaway from crazy cheater plan executed this flawlessly. Can we get an update on ex-fiank and ex-fiank's mom? Good on you for leaving. I know it would have been so hard to make that decision to cut ties with someone that you loved. Cheating sucks. I learned the hard way. How does one listen to Reddit on YouTube? Great story though. Fun to read. After reading stories like this, it makes me think I'm not really ready for this subreddit. I mean, there are all kinds of emotions right now, I don't know how to process them. It's so perfect, I wouldn't be surprised if this is fake. I am sorry it happened to you. But this is not nuclear. Want nuclear? Out her on every possible platform. Destroy her credibility for the entire world. Look her in the eyes as she is unable to move. Tell her she deserves to choke on her own tears. When she is crying, I not ditch. Contemplating ending it all. You appear. Take the knife out of her hand. Lean in close. And whisper in her ear. You haven't paid for it yet. That is nuclear. Bloody hell. That's one heel of a story. You got your revenge and got to screw her mom as well. Hope you sent those videos to coworker's wife. She deserves to know. The part about screwing EFM sounds like it was taken from porn. But an enjoyable read. Should have titled this one "I've Peeped Your Mom." The guy's wife deserved to find out. Even though this wasn't me, I felt devastated reading this, even though this isn't even me, lol. I've been cheated on like this too. Multiple different times. And I didn't find out until long after the point I could get revenge. But next time I'm making it a point to get revenge sex like you did. You are my inspiration.